questions.
Yeah, a terrible memory.
Oh, I try to take the shades off. I go to the gym and I forget they're on. I'm just like, oh, like anybody tell me?
I've worked out with shades on at Strides.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to, me and my buddy Trey at the time, we went in with like friggin' top G's, wearing shades like in the gym, working out, and like a few people were like, these guys are dickheads. A few people were like, that's cool.
It's always like, what's the guy doing?
Yeah.
There was a guy that used to come to the YMCA and he did the same.
Yeah.
And like wrap around, he couldn't, like, he would never take them off. He looked like the Ultimate Warrior, and he would actually face paint sometimes and still wear the shades.
Yeah.
No one talked to him. He was crazy, like jacked.
Yeah.
It was like you just were like, stay out of that guy's way.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I think that's why I did it. It was just people leave me alone when I worked out, right?
What I did is like mine were prescripted, so I just told people they're
prescripted.
Oh
yeah, like, I forgot my glasses at home.
Yeah, I can't fucking see, right?
Right.
Anyway.
Cool.
Right, ready?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Throttle Talk Podcast, Episode 3 with Kirt Silver.
Oh, man.
We're there. All right.
Thanks for having me.
Kirt Silver. He's a known bodybuilder, known tattoo artist in Nova Scotia, coach, has his own merch. This man does it all. How you feeling today, sir?
Good, buddy. Good.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So tell me a little bit about the shop.
All right. Well, we're located in Enfield, Nova Scotia, of course. It's something I started, I guess we're going into 22 years now almost. Kind of started out of my dad's apartment first as I was learning to tattoo, and then the first sort of kind of open for business was out of our house, which is me and my wife when we first started dating. And at the time I was actually going by Silver Works. I just wanted to do something with my last name and the shop, and I kind of started there. As I was learning, doing some smaller work and kind of growing and getting better as an artist, kind of got to the place where it was getting busy and realized I got to take this out of my house and out into a shop, and that's where Silver City, I guess, 2003. Crazy.
Oh, jeez, that's 21 years, 22?
Yeah,
22
yeah,
years,
yeah.
holy.
In that zone, man. So that was my first shop.
Yeah.
It was down across from the Enfield post office.
Okay.
Rent was super, super cheap, so yeah, man.
Like where Old Post is now.
Yeah. Actually, there was the barber shop. They just moved out of there, but yes, right there, same building.
It's funny because they moved, and I was like trying to get a haircut that day. I had an appointment booked. And I'm like, where's that? I called them. They're like, we're just across the street. I kept looping around trying to find them. Yeah. And then I was like, oh shit, they're tucked around this, like literally tucked around the bend here before the train tracks instead of after them.
Yeah, exactly. Once you know where they're at, it makes sense. But,
exactly. Yeah. That's the go-to spot for a haircut.
Absolutely, man. They're actually, it's hard to get in. They're so busy. You definitely want to make an appointment. Yeah, for sure.
I know with my hair at least, very particular on my haircuts.
Oh yeah.
As anybody else. You go to one barber shop, they screw up your hair, you're never going back there again.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But I went there and they haven't done me wrong yet.
Oh yeah, no, he's an awesome guy too, man. Like
both
it's a cool environment. Yeah, that's right. There's someone else in there I've actually not met yet, but they kind of have a tattoo shop feel to it. I know he's into the tattoo scene himself, so his art that's around. I actually have a painting that's up on his wall there as well, so there's a little bit of myself in that shop as well. Yeah.
That's wicked.
Yeah,
that's wicked.
No, definitely. No, it's great location, good guy, great work, man.
100%. Now, we talked about tattooing and everything.
Yep.
I want to talk about your music.
Yeah.
So you're big into the music aspect as well. This guy does music as well.
Yeah,
which is insane.
Yeah.
So tell the viewers a little bit about that.
So kind of as tattooing moved on, that was like my goal. I had to make a living doing something. Art was always my passion, so anything in the arts, to be honest, really. So got to have a job, got to have an income coming in to do what you want in life, and so tattoo was the main focus. Did a lot of focus on that, and kind of to get in and make a living at it, and music kind of got a little bit on the side, but it was something I grew up in. My dad sang, played guitar, and wrote music. My mom sang and played, and my brother played and wrote, and I was sort of more like a writer, I guess. I would write music, write songs, write lyrics. I had an English teacher who kind of got me into poetry and teaching me that it's an art form, and kind of got me interested in school, and made me a little better in her class by her kind of giving me that art outlet.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I just started writing, and I find it's something it's really, for me, it's always on. I don't turn it off. I'll be in my car, an idea will hit me, and I'll do a quick, like, verbal recorded note, and then kind of get home and start building that into like verses and chorus, and yeah. So I guess with having more time now, where I'm kind of really situated into tattooing, and I'm doing 4 days a week and a client a day sort of scenario, I'm able to kind of have a little more time.
You're able to step back.
Yeah.
And like jump into something that you're passionate about.
Yeah.
That you didn't have time for.
Exactly. So music's kind of, I decided, I want to focus on that for a bit. And man, today with technology, we're able to do so much more.
100%.
Back, 15 years ago, I would have had to have studio time, and then have a band get together, and now you can use like MIDI and loops and some AI to help you build. You know what I mean? It's got its things that's gonna affect businesses, but it's also going to allow art and entertainment, I think, to be produced at a cost that's easier.
Cost efficient.
Yeah, one
Quicker
person
way.
can do more than they once could. So I mean, like all tools, you got to use them and find out what's the best way to use it. And definitely in music, that's been a help, because I'm able to record on my own, build a little recording booth at home, and just started writing and recording, and just said the heck with it. I'm gonna put it out on Spotify and see what happens, and it's been doing really well. And if something happened with it, great. If it doesn't, that's cool too.
That's right.
I just love doing it.
That's your
get it out of
passion.
my head. Yeah. Same with painting. That's the other, like, either for art, it's always doing something art, but I guess with music and painting, it's for me. Where this I get to do, I love, I enjoy, but it leaves, and I see you at the gym, see your tattoo, it's like, oh man, it's so sweet to see it again, but it's, your art is always leaving you, and you never get to kind of enjoy it. So when you bump into someone, I love it. I bump into someone out, and I'm like, man, let me see your tattoo healed up, and I can appreciate it because I hadn't seen it for a while,
Yeah, that's right.
So that kind of the two things. One I get to keep, and one I get to see once in a while, and kind of have memories with it, and hear that client be like, give me their feedback on what people think of it. It's cool.
Yeah, that's right. Now you're into the art, you're into music, you're also into the shirts now.
Yeah.
A little bit of merch, which I love because it's like you're branding yourself.
Yeah, just kind of starting in that direction. This is actually this is one of the shirts here that I did with a company out of California. They're called Solon, and they're a large tattoo brand apparel.
Gotcha.
They're kind of like, I hate to say it, but like the Nike of the tattoo industry, where they're that well known, and it's all done by tattoo artists that are very well known, the top tattoo artists in the world. So to be a part of that is a big deal. So I'm very honored that I got asked to be part of that. But they're American, and right now, unfortunately, we have a little bit of trades things going on. So I just decided, why don't I maybe venture out and continue to make some of my art, put it on shirts, and maybe brand myself with, it's called silverware, and I'm doing like, gym apparel, gonna get into more, just everyday wearing around apparel, like, tattoo style, probably influence in that, because that's my background, so.
No, I think it's really smart. It's a smart move, like people just wearing your brand. There's one thing like tattooing and stuff, like people getting tattoos from you, and like with your name on it by chance or whatnot. But also people like repping your stuff, like kind of getting that influencer type of
for sure.
image, right?
Yeah, I think I could probably have a little better shot at it because I'm known for my art already.
Exactly.
So when you're buying a shirt from me, you're buying a piece of art that has been put together and created by me. And at the same time, I'm not looking to make a living out of this, so I'm sort of doing it at cost at the moment, just to show people what I can put out and see what their interest is, their feedback. Already people are saying, this could be cool in this if you did this. And I'm taking that and I'm going and I'm going to do it. And then of course, as things get recommended to me and I try them, costs get a little more. So I would go to the point where we're just making a few dollars off things, just so I can keep doing it. I enjoy it, and people can wear it, and we can have different clothes to have in the gym that it's just hard to find, like tanks and shirts that fit us in a more sport way with some length.
To show off, like, show off your physique, right?
Yeah, put out something I want to wear that I feel good working out in, that you would feel good working out in. And, again, that being said, like, doing all genders, all shapes and sizes, I want to be able to do that. Because often a company goes all one way, and they only make women's tanks, and they don't make men's shirts or vice versa, you
Yeah.
know.
Stick
So
to
I
your path.
yeah, I just want to, you're in the gym, well, let's face it, we all train together in the gym.
Yeah.
Once you become family, you know, like I could be working out with you one day and then, you know, bump into a friend of mine and she's training and we work out together. And,
Or he comes over, gives you some tips.
yeah.
And I'll be doing like triceps. And I'm like, man, my triceps are killing me and I got this weird pain right here. He's like, bro, I got you. He just starts going like that, just massaging it out. The next day, it just feel like $1,000,000.
Yeah, I do a little bit of that stuff too.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I've been doing it long enough and getting it done to me, like where I'm training hard and I need to get massage or get recovery. What I was doing to you, the technique is called stripping. And I mean, you know, really all you're doing is loosening that tissue up a bit. I'm not a massage therapist. I'm not a doctor. So, you know,
just
I'm not claiming to be so, but, you know, I definitely could, hey, go see this person or go see this person. Or if it's something I can help you with in the moment, definitely. Because, I mean, when you're training, that is the thing about training. You know, you're putting your body under some load and some pressure, and the idea is that, you know, we're doing as little injury as we can so we can continue to do this, and the healthier we stay, the longer we can do it. So I think, to be honest, I'll throw this in, my goal in training has become a little bit more longevity, and to teach longevity to trainers at a younger age.
Gotcha.
Because the first question you'll ask somebody is, how long would you like to do this? Like, the rest of my life.
Yeah.
When you love it and you get in shape and you know every year means some more goals and some more goals, the longer you can stay in the gym getting those goals versus home with an injury, the further along you're moving quicker and the longer you're doing this. So I think there's a lot to learn about how to avoid injury and how to sustain long-term training, right?
Exactly.
So that's really been my new focus in training and teaching people, and hey, how to hit that muscle hard and proper, and then recover and go from there. But
That's right.
yeah.
No, I know. We were talking off pod about how important the training is to us, because it kind of builds that discipline, doesn't it?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, our discussion was like the discipline and how that goes from the gym into your life.
Exactly.
For sure. And I think we were both in agreement that we've learned that we take that same formula and say, well, what am I trying to achieve with this project or that project, you know, the t-shirt or music, and say, well, what if I think what I do want long term, and what are some short terms I could do, goals I could do to get me there.
Exactly.
You know, we all have this, like, I want to be this muscular by this time.
I want a six-pack in 30 minutes.
And I love that. Have a big goal, but don't only have a big goal, because you'll let yourself down daily.
You gotta have milestones.
You gotta celebrate those small things between. Motivation isn't something you can, you know, pick up. It's honestly consistency, and that goes right from the gym through becoming a tattoo artist who's known and having a business, or producing a podcast and it taking off and having viewers and putting out something they're interested in. So, you know, it's constantly like hearing that, putting it in, setting a new goal, working towards that goal. Yeah, so 100%. I think if you can do it in your body, which I believe is a lot harder than doing it in your business or anything else, a lot of people will give up their health to do their business. I think if they could take that same analogy of what they're putting into their business and put into their health in some small degree, 3 days a week, you know, half an hour, 40 minutes on those 3 days, you'd be surprised the health and, you know, nobody needs, I shouldn't say nobody, not everybody needs to look like they're a bodybuilder or whatever it is. That's just something I enjoy and you enjoy.
It makes us feel good.
It's you know, something we want to achieve. But by all means, like, your level of fitness and health, without visually changing a whole lot, gives you longevity and health in life. And so to me, I just love all of that. If I'm training someone just to be healthier, you know, for their own sake, great. If they want to be more muscular or lose some body fat, or, you know, the goal is always one way. Somebody's struggling to gain muscle, someone's struggling to lose weight, and there are different formulas and different things to understand. And I always like to try to keep that simple, as we were talking again off camera. How do we make these things, they can go deeper as you become more knowledgeable. I think it's the same idea, small goals. So usually when I'm training someone, I start them with small ideas. Like, you know, let's get into the macros in every area, carbs and fat and, you know, protein. Let's just give you a protein number, and, you know, and then just give you an understanding that your body only needs so much energy for what you do in a day. And, you know, again, it comes down to what your goal is, so how hard you might be training. It's kind of understanding that if you make that connection with that, then it's a little easier to avoid problems with dieting, like where someone might be just not eat enough, or oh, they overeat. You know, we got to think of it in the same way as we would like finances. If someone told you, just go spend whatever you want, just be happy, don't worry about it, it makes you happy. Well, I'm in debt. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Just, you know, it's you know, you just take that money, buy what you want, it makes you happy. Yeah. You know, we all say that's not very smart. But if we come to diet and say, well, you shouldn't be eating this and you shouldn't be eating that, or you should be eating too much of this, we go, well, that's bad to tell people because it makes them feel bad. But there's still a truth, like finances. If you just go out and spend money and you don't have it, you're gonna get in financial problems. You know, same with your health. Happiness. Yeah. So try to find that happiness within yourself, and then bring that into what you're doing. Because I could honestly say, even in my own experience, and most people I train, if we can teach them to learn to, it sounds corny, but be happy with themselves or love themselves where they are, it's so much easier to then see the value in taking care of yourself.
Exactly.
Because you see value in you. But if you are working to see the value in yourself, it doesn't work.
That's right. You're always chasing an image.
You're chasing a value that you put here instead of the value that's already here, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it's easier to go towards your goal if you can see yourself as somebody who deserves it now, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, I want to switch focus into Silver City a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Can you tell me how Silver City started, kind of background of it, and when it,
for sure.
You know, maybe a little bit about it?
Yeah, so again, like coming back to that, we, I say we because my wife is a huge part of this, I'll be honest. Yeah. I actually will throw another little thing at you. Most people don't know, or they do know already, but it's a shocker when they don't know and hear it. I was actually a hairstylist prior to this. Okay. Came out of school and was kind of like, I want to do something creative. I knew I was a creative person, and I knew artistically I would have to be doing something instead of just kind of sitting at a desk or, you know, a labor job. So I kind of thought, you know, hair, and I was actually doing it younger, doing men's cuts, my buddy's hair and stuff like that, and thought, you know, why not? I went into it. It definitely realized quickly it's not for me. I was just like, oh, it's not as free and creative as I would like it to be. Yeah. I also wasn't as skilled at it as, say, my wife, who is also a hairstylist, and has done very well with it. Yeah. And she owns her own business, so she was able to give me some of the best advice. I met her at a course, and she kind of said, why are you taking this course? And I said it was because I was just losing interest in doing hair, and I thought if I take this course, maybe it'll reinvigorate me, and I, you know, make this into a career for myself. And honestly, she got honest with me and said, if you really don't enjoy this, and you're reaching to find a way to enjoy it, it's probably not for you. Yeah. She said, I'm saying that as an owner. I see people come and go all the time who just get into it thinking, you know, hey, it's something I could do, but if you don't love it, it's a hard area to thrive in, and
you gotta love what you do.
Yeah, so she kind of started asking me questions. Well, what do you want to do? You know, and this is like, you know, we met at this course, we talked a bit. I obviously was interested in her, and you know, I would dare say she had some small interest in me, and you know, so I actually ended up tattooing her. I let her know I tattoo a little bit on the side, and that's what I would really like to do. Yeah. So I ended up doing a small tattoo on her, and you know, I liked her right away. I knew I wanted to date her. So we went into that. I just kind of asked her to start dating me or go out. Yep. We started dating, and she was very supportive from square one. I was like, you know what? She owned a house already, had her own business, and kind of said, let's just go full focus in the tattoo. I believe in you. I believe in, you know, what you can do and achieve, and that's huge. Not everybody has that support behind. No. And I think you can do it without that, but I'm gonna say it was huge having that backing with someone saying, I got you while you do what you need to do during this time. And
not a lot of people have that.
No,
they take
for
that
sure.
risk and they feel like they're completely alone.
Yeah, I'm gonna say honestly, you know, probably my wife didn't have that in her life, and I think she seen something she could do that she wished she had. Yeah. But that being said, back to what we said about goals and stuff, she was that person who said, here's what I need to do. This is what I want. Here's how I will get here. And she was huge on that. And she did that and did very well on her own. So having somebody with a little bit of experience and knowing that if you do these things, you can get there. Again, essentially she was a large part of me starting into tattooing, which then would be the beginning of Silver City tattooing. Yeah. Yeah, and then like say, there's not really much to say other than, you know, Silver City as a business. I've had a few people here working with me over the years that I've taught to tattoo, and you know, piercers, other artists who I worked with for like 8 years at a time. Always got along great with everybody we work with. give a shout out. Jason Francis was my latest apprentice, and
Okay.
he's probably 5 years into tattooing now. So, or Jay, if it's been more.
That's awesome.
Started his own shop. He's doing great. We're still best friends.
That must make you feel good inside, though.
Oh, it feels
Knowing that you
great.
taught
Yeah,
somebody,
there's, you know what? I'll be
brought them,
honest.
like, brought them to the level they're at. They shadowed you, learned from you. It must feel good, right?
Oh, absolutely. Like, again, it comes back to like personal training. I actually feel there's a part of us as humans that's gets a reward when we help someone, like a feeling of you feel good. But it's not that I just feel good about me. I feel good about what they're doing.
Yeah.
And when I see them get an achievement, I'm like,
Exactly.
you're part of that, and you get to celebrate with them when they achieve what they achieve. So
I'm gonna say it feels better when someone else succeeds.
Yeah.
You help them out than you succeeding doing something.
for sure, if you're helping, you're succeeding. You're learning.
Yeah.
You learn from helping too. I learned from teaching. I actually really started to realize I enjoyed teaching because I was learning a lot. You had to learn, why do I do things?
Yeah.
Hey, when you're shading, you do blah blah. Like, notice why.
Yeah.
And I have to think, why do I do that
Yeah.
thing I'm doing with my hand that they just asked me?
Yeah.
And then I go, oh yeah, it's because. So yeah. There's definitely a lot that comes back when you're giving and when you're teaching, and again, I would say it's an equal return in learning, and also an equally rewarding in that person's success, especially if they're humbled and kind of doing the same thing forward. Yeah, for
100%.
sure. Yeah.
So walk me through like the whole process of getting a tattoo. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the whole process, like, so for people at home that don't know, like,
Yeah,
how
for
it
sure.
all happens, how you master your craft.
Yep. Yeah.
Walk us through it.
So two different questions: mastering your craft versus how a person comes in and starts to think about what they want for their tattoo or how that works.
Yeah.
I'll start with mastering the craft. That's time, obviously, and actually application. Like, if I'm not tattooing, I'm not really progressing and learning.
Yeah.
So we start out sort of tattooing like grapefruit or an orange.
Yeah.
It's something you're not going to damage or ruin for life.
Yeah.
And then I'll generally, if I'm teaching someone, we'll go to like fake skins, or I really like to use pig skin.
Okay.
I'll look for a little bit.
That's the closest
It's probably
thing
the
to you.
similar closest that you can get. And then as you get more and more confident, you start tattooing some friends who are like, hey, even if it's not the best tattoo, I got this for my body, and there's something more to it. I helped them learn, and down the road we pay it forward to those people and give them great work, and things like that. So that's sort of the start. To master your craft, I think there's always a bit of humility there, which is understanding like, there's being hard on yourself and being honest with yourself about something that needs to progress. But there's also learning to not let that beat you up or destroy you when you look at somebody who's doing it better, instead of going, let you beat you down. It is an artistic tendency to be too hard on ourselves, or be too what's the word I want to use? Too confident, overconfident, or cocky. We'll give that.
Yeah, that's right.
And that both those will hinder you. You got to find that place in the middle.
Happy medium.
Yeah, like I'm still 22 years in, still. I mean, there's so many phenomenal artists.
Yeah.
They inspire me, and I go, I want to try some of what they're doing, and if I'm doing that, I'm always learning. So that's mastering your craft. Time in, patience, technique, learning. Where you can learn, and then going into sort of the approach when someone comes along and wants a tattoo.
Yeah.
I guess we'll start with, what are you looking for as a client when you're picking a shop? I would say someone who, if they say, no, we can't do this, they tell you why they can't do it in the way you might want to go about it. And usually offering a way you can and why it will get you what you want in the end, and why it will be better long term.
Gotcha.
Always hated to just, no, we don't do that, or no. A lot of people come in here and say, well, everybody just told me no. I've been to 6 shops and I said, I want this lettering this big, and here's the style, and they just said, no, don't do it. Where I would say, here's why they don't want to do it, and here's why I wouldn't suggest you do it this way.
Educate them on it.
Yeah,
Not just
so
tell them no and have them confused.
I think that's important. You're looking for a shop who instantly is going to give you truthful advice, and then explain why, and then work together on making some changes to get where it's going to be right for you to have a good tattoo that will last and still get what you want out of that tattoo. So that's number one for me. You're looking for in a shop. Obviously, from there, if you're going to sit in the chair, you want to make sure the shop is clean.
Yep.
You know, it is nowadays we have our permits so you can see everything's been certified.
Yep.
You know, so that helps. That's definitely a change within my career we didn't have before. Now we have.
Yep.
So we are governed and we're inspected.
Yep.
So we're looking for that. From there, it's just like, man, does the guy do art that I like? You know, and does he do a lot of what I'm asking for? Because that's a question I get a lot. You know, do you do small? I see you do big this or high detailed, and I do a lot of variety of styles, but they're usually asking for the one style I don't do.
Yeah.
But I love your work. So usually with that one, I just suggest, honestly, waiting to get in here with me and you know, getting a specialty person where you're paying maybe a little more or waiting a little longer to get done. Something that I think I can suggest, you know, go see this guy. He's very skilled at doing that. He does walk-ins. He would do this style. Again, I usually try not to have a no. I have to try to give them an option, right?
Yeah.
But as a client, and you're looking at, here's a tattoo I want. Do I see it in his work? 100% see it in the work.
Yeah.
But so many people that were like, it wasn't what I wanted, and I'll say, did you look at the books or their art? And they're like, well, I mean, I seen one on my friend, and it was pretty nice. It's like that. It's not enough. Like you wanna look and say, if my idea was done with the way he did these things, I'd be so happy.
Well, it's something permanent on your body, so you gotta do
Yeah,
research. Right? It's gonna be there for life.
Oh, for sure. There's
life.
nothing worse than a bad decision in a tattoo, and I've done it, and I've had them covered, and you know, whatever. It always limits what you can do if you have to do it again, right?
Yeah, that's
so, yeah, I mean, you know, really, tattooing today has come so far in so many ways, like technique, quality, advancement within equipment. And what we get. Like, used to be walk in, what was on the wall, pick one.
Yep.
Now it's walk in with your idea, throw it at me, and I take this bit of your idea, this bit of your idea, this, some of the reference you showed me, and I start to make something out of all those things.
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of artist you probably want. Someone that can take your ideas, put them together, make what you want, make something original.
You almost got to have a lot of creativity as well with it, right?
For sure, it comes from the challenges of what the clients want. I'm gonna be honest. Like I always, throw the you know the thank you back to the client, because I'll be honest. When someone says, "Well, how did you grow in tattooing?" or you know, "How did you get to be doing portrait realism and you know color and some of the harder challenges of tattoo work I do?" It's literally because the clients were pushing me to do these things and try them. You know. It's a one art form that if you go into, you get a lot of opportunity to try different things within that art form.
Yeah.
Where if you just did something for a company where you did logos, that's all you're going to do all day.
Yeah.
As an artist, you're not going to grow.
That's right.
But as an artist who was like, well, I got to start drawing some portraits at home and working on those and figure out what are the techniques to this. So again, we'll go back to goal setting. Those were always things I had too.
Yeah.
Right now I'm doing mainly Japanese, black and gray at the beginning of my career. So then next I want to be like, okay, I want to start doing color. And I want to try what we call new school, right?
Yeah.
Bold colors, bold line work. And then I would work at that for a year or so.
Sure.
And then, you know, now I want to attempt neo-traditional. So I would slowly build my portfolio of ability within styles.
So then if someone walks in here, they're able to pick exactly what they want, and you're able to cover every aspect.
100%, or you're able to suggest what is the best style for their idea.
Exactly.
And if it comes down to being something I don't do, then being honest with them that this guy is your guy to go see.
But you're probably gonna go home and try to figure it out.
Yeah, generally it's like, well, if we can suggest it, if they come in and they had a traditional reference, and I'm like, I don't really do traditional, I do neo-traditional. It's a modern twist on the traditional concept, and kind of show them some of it, and they're like, oh yeah, I like that too. Then right away we're already moving forward. I'm like, cool, that's the approach we'll go. I'll take these ideas, we'll put them together. Or sometimes it can be a little like, you know what, you go home and I got a couple things I want you to think about. Like, look at some tattoos, bring me some pictures of things you like, and I'll go home and I might be stirring, I wanted this and this together. How will I make that work? And then when we revisit this idea, they might have already answered with bringing me something. I'm like, that's exactly what I was thinking, or vice versa. So it's almost like, I'm gonna say, most of my clients feel very involved in that back and forth communication, where there'll be a light moment where like, oh, that sounds cool, or I suggest an idea, they're like, and you know, oh, they're not there with that idea, or they suggest one, and I go, doesn't work because.
Yeah.
So you're slowly doing this back and forth where light bulbs start lighting and you go, we got something we can move forward with, right? Yeah, it's neat. It's neat.
It's a cool connection you have with your clients then.
Yeah, it's the one thing I think the one art form where that is happening. The evolution of the art's coming from conversation, back and forth communication about what they want to achieve, and you being able to get that expression through in the end in their art. Sometimes it's real simple and it's just about a memory, and it doesn't need all that, and that's great too. But often it's like trying to do something a little bit more personal for them, and it's their idea, and we're trying to sell without words, say things like, you know, going through a hard time, and this is representing the overcoming and the change, you know, and we're doing a sleeve, and we're putting that idea together through the sleeve. It's cool. It's like storytelling through art and with somebody's story, actually.
It's like by the end of that tattoo, it's like you know the guy.
Yeah. Oh,
you know?
for sure.
It's like you got that relationship built. And it's like, you know.
Oh, it's hard, man. It's hard for me. I feel like I lose friends all the time. Like
and
in a way that
see you later.
Yeah, like, sadly.
It's like a tear goes down.
Yeah, man. Like I'd love to see you just come back and show me this is done, or just come back and say hello. And I'm gonna say a lot of my clients do, and I love it. And it's that instant, like, how are your kids, and you know, how did it go with going back to school? Like you just
the relationship.
Oh man, when you're seeing somebody for a larger piece like that. Yeah, you're definitely sad to see them go, right?
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
It's cool. It's something that you don't get in a lot of jobs, you know.
No.
Yeah. So I same with personal training. There's a lot of being personal. There's a connection. They're letting you into their life a bit to work with their body and their weaknesses and their strengths. And tattooing is very much the same. It's sort of open expression of here's what I want to say about what I've been through, and they're sharing stories with maybe drug addictions or a loss in the family, or you know, just a change in their own life, or something their aspirations to go into or do. Yeah, it's neat. It's a cool career in that sense. One thing I have to state and stress on that a lot is if you're interested in this as a career and you're an artist, it will be one of the most what do we want to say, time consuming like arts I think you can be into, because you don't go home at night and just off work. You go home and you work. So I go home with that conversation I had with that client, and I start working on their idea. Start sketching loosely, And then, you know, by the time I see that client and do that tattoo, I've got about 8 to 30 hours of work just drawing that. 30 would be maybe something real large project. But that's home time when I'm not working here physically, you know. So it's like, oh, it'd be so fun to draw for a living. It's the one place where you draw and you draw at home and you draw. So I go back to why I do so many artistic things. I think it's because I still need my personal artistic outlets that are solely mine, not someone's story. So that allows me to keep someone's story exciting instead of being burnt out. I can be like, oh, I've done what I want to get out of me in a song with an expression or a painting or something I just want to enjoy and keep and have on my wall. And then I can come back to this and give that energy to you again, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so when people say, well, how do you do other things, you know, outside of tattooing, which is already busy, I think it's important that you do. And probably going to bring us to our off-camera question is like, well, how do you do all that with, you know, family and other things that you're committed to? With, I probably say yes to a lot of things that shouldn't. Like we'll go into the personal training and this at the same time in the family. Often I'll say to somebody like, you know, we'll talk about, hey, are they interested in competing? Or they'll tell me they're interested in competing and could I help them? And I'm usually just instantly, yeah, let's do it. Let's help you, right?
You take on a lot.
You take on a lot. Sometimes you have to realize at this time, at this phase, I'm just have to say no to this person. Like, I'll do my best. Like I can give you something in writing easily for your diet, or but I'm not going to be able to come to the gym and do some personal training hands-on with you right now. So I'll usually say to someone like, oh, when I commit. Like I know I got the space and this free time in my life. Let's get you through the next 3 months for this competition, which I love doing. I've trained a few people multiple times and seen them do wonderful each time, like first show, getting first place, you know, going off into their second show at the pro level and getting second and third. It's pretty wild, but you also have to know when you have to say no to something because it's going to cut into family time or your business.
You end up getting burnt out.
Yeah, you definitely get burnt out. There's 2 ways to get burnt out. There's one is you don't do an outlet for yourself, and there's one you do outlets, too many outlets for everybody else, right?
That's right.
So you are keeping that balance, and then of course, like family in that. I am very grateful that I have a wife that understands that I really don't sit still. My brain's always firing. I'm always thinking of ideas, but you know, like I say, from day one, she's always been very supportive of sort of my outlets and my you know. Yeah, so she's the type of person I know if she said we need to do this and we're going here at this time, I make sure it's done.
That's right.
You know, because she allows me to go do these things.
Yeah.
It sounds odd to say allow. What I mean is obviously she gets it.
Exactly.
Like,
Well, she supported you from day one.
I don't need her permission, but I like her to be okay with it.
Exactly.
Because I love her and I want her to.
She saw your dream, right?
Yeah.
And she kind of helped you through to reach your goals.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Reach your dreams, pursue your dreams and everything. So.
But at the same time,
you try to
back to my wife as well, as having this experience because she was already had her own business going and very successful and had goals and everything. Yeah. We did early in our relationship. We're both very busy in that, so our time was our time together, which was awesome. It's still that way to a degree. We're both cutting back from work a bit more. Like I say, I do less days of the week. I had one client, if they only sit for a 2-hour day or 3-hour day, I'm like, that's fine. Yep. I used to sit here for 8-9 hour days every day. Yep. But it's like, you know what, like we're in that retirement phase of life. I get to enjoy what I do when I'm working, and it gives us a lot more time with the family and for other outlets, like we were talking, like music and
bodybuilding.
Yeah. Like again, I want to compete again. Probably the competition's one where my wife goes, "You're gonna compete again?" Because like honestly, training someone else or you know doing something like I'm gonna do some music. She knows. Oh, we're still in the same house together. We still see you know each other. We spend our time together, and then she goes and reads, and I go work on some music. We do our hobbies.
Yeah.
So again, back to that. She's got lots of hobbies just like me too. So.
Yeah. And you guys seem like both very like on the go all the time.
Oh, we are. Yeah, for sure we are, and I think that's something like I say with when we're together, it's very much you know. We appreciate our time together, but we do a lot. Yeah, you know, we do a lot together in the same room where I'm like working on art, but she's reading a book, and we're still conversating. We found ways to do our thing and still be together and enjoy that. I think that's a relationship. You'll see memes about it. Just being in the same room together, happy, you know, is sort of you know where you want to be long term.
Unfamiliar.
Yeah, you got each other's back and what you're doing and stuff. So.
I know about me, I cannot multitask, so I'll give you that one. Like,
My wife's a better multitasker than I am. Like,
if I'm on one thing, I'm only on that one thing.
Yeah,
people are trying to talk to me like outside of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I'm either talking to them or I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, I can be that way too. And I think, you know what, that's a skill, I'm going to say, because I use it all the time. If I go off and I'm doing music, I'm hyper-focused on that music.
Yep.
So I'm able to, A, learn a lot in a short time, and B, get a lot done in a short time. Therefore, it'd be like, someone like, you put out so many songs recently, and it's like, yeah, I kind of did that in like 4 weeks. I took a bit of that was vacation time. So some of that was like, you know, wife's got to work in the morning. She's going to bed at 9, so I go from 9 till, 1 o'clock in the morning working on this song idea. And I don't work till 12, so I get to sleep in a little bit, which is great.
So it's really just about like your organization skills.
Yeah, fine, just realizing that's right. Like it's a skill, and let's face it, I'd be lying to say that I don't commit or overextend my time, and where I have to realize it's time to cut back and put that time into something else, right?
That's right.
So be aware of that too. Right? You don't want to have success by destroying all your relationships.
Yeah, no, you don't want
your relationships are your backbone, right?
Yeah. You know, and that ties me into how important are connections.
Yeah.
The communications when you're growing a business, starting an industry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll go back to my notes here.
Yeah.
So how big of a role does connections, knowing people, as well as getting your name out there, help with getting where you'd like to be in any industry, business, music?
Right.
You know, you with tattooing and everything. How important is it to you?
Yeah. So I guess it's probably a twofold answer to that would be. It is very important that the connections you do make, that you represent yourself well.
Gotcha.
So that you can have that person see that you would be someone they would like to partner with. and that you can work with. That you're also working for them when they get involved with you.
Yeah.
So let's say ink company, that I'm not just using their ink, I'm also part of telling them what I think could change or what could be better in the future, or giving them ideas. Doesn't mean I'm saying if you don't do this, I'm out of here. It just, and when you're working with a good company, they take those things in, they try them, and they know if I sponsor these artists and I listen to them, right, then we have a better team happening, and then those things, I want to know what artists think. You want to know someone driving your motorbike. Like you're the one who builds it, you're the one who tunes it. If they come back and say it seems a little slow on the takeoff,
you want to know that because you're trying to build your
right. You're not gonna say I don't care. That bike's done. I'm done with it. I'm just making money now. It's like there's gonna be a time where that's too much for people, and they're gonna go for the bike that has a faster takeoff. So it's the same with the tattoo industry. The sponsorship is supposed to be a two-way thing where I'm really repping them as a company that I use and why I use it. Don't just use it because they gave me a sponsorship. It's like, no, I use it because it was a choice. I mean, I easily could just be involved with any other line, right? But I'm with this line, and here's the reasons I'm with them. And it's not just always that they have A, the best product, but it's B, they listen to the people that they get involved with, they apply those things, and then they see that as a reward because more artists go, I see the changes, and I actually appreciate those changes. And so, definitely making that connection where you are somebody that they can trust and work with. So, and you're representing them. So if I go around and doing things that they feel don't represent them well, then that's going to affect whether they want to keep me on board or not too.
Exactly.
So there's always that thinking of professionalism. Like I'm being professional with representing myself, therefore representing their product, and vice versa. If that company I find gets in a place where they're not being professional or politically correct, maybe I know that's a tough subject now, but maybe it's just something I don't necessarily maybe align with in that way.
Goes back to the two-way street.
You got to say, do they represent me well? Back and forth. But I guess the real truth is how important is that those connections, making those connections to getting you where you get in your career, what you do. Honestly, I think people think they're more important than they are. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but you met this person or you made this happen. I'm going to say more often than not, probably always, 100% to maybe 98%, I made the thing happen in my career which led me to being able to meet that person.
That's right.
So, honestly, you work that goal, you get to that place, all of a sudden you're beside someone doing the same thing they're doing, they see you as an equal, and then that opportunity, then maybe now you travel and do shows with that person who they're known because they're an ink master on a TV show, and as a friend I'm not using them for that, but we work together. Maybe they're an ink master but they only got 3 years tattooing and I got 15. So I'm teaching them little tricks in art, even though yes they were on TV, and they're showing me how they're marketing themselves, and I'm getting to go and be marketed with them as we travel. So it's always a co-relationship, and you should always treat it that way. And when it's not being treated that way on either end, then it's probably time to let that go. But it is definitely not what can make you. It is not the door open or closed to success. I guess is what I want to say. You are that door.
100%.
You set the goal, you work hard, you start opening that door, and then who comes in that door to work with you is...
There's a bit of strategy to it, I think, too.
100%.
There's strategy, there's a bit of there's a lot of hard work for sure. Strategy and I guess, just kind of putting the hard work in and staying disciplined, I guess.
Definitely. It comes back to discipline, realize what's not working and letting that go, and what is working and continue to push in on that. I think someone who's successful is okay with, you hear this all the time, it's very true, with what you would say failure. Failure isn't failure, it's a learning
curve.
It's a tool. If that's not working, that's not working, off the list.
It's also about who you align yourself with, who you surround yourself with. If you have people that are at your level or higher, it's going to keep pushing you to get to the level you want to be at. If you have people you're hanging around with that are, not to be mean or anything, but below you, or say like bad influences for you, you're gonna be almost drawn to act the same way.
Yeah, I would say that, yeah, probably what you meant to say with was exactly what you said at the end of that. Not necessarily that their skill is below you.
No.
Because let's face it, if they're a good person and hard working and a great, like, representative and, you know, and a good influence on you, that matters more than. So I would say that even in anything, like, they may not be the best of the trade, like a tattooer, so the best filmographer or the best whatever. But you just go, they're such a good person. They have so much joy, and they're just good to be around. Yeah. So people still support that.
Good energy.
Yeah.
You want to surround yourself with good energy all the time.
Yeah, so, you know.
Negativity, it never goes anywhere.
Oh, absolutely. It's always staying on the positive. And I mean, we've had conversations with some, you know, things going on that, you know, throughout my career that have been negative, that I said it's just best to let the negative things go off on their own as you focus moving forward into positivity.
And what did you say a couple weeks ago? I was at the gym. You were saying positivity always overcomes negativity.
Always does. It may not seem at the time like it gets the most attention. Yeah. But long term, it's the winner of that race, man. Just like we go to the tortoise and the hare. That's a lesson that I would say is that same statement that in long term, the positivity is definitely going to. Again, back to the gym training, talking about longevity in the gym. Yep. You know, if you get injured because you have somebody working with you who's negatively ruining you or impacting, or you're doing negative things that are impacting your own career, and you're not realizing that you need to let them go, then guess what? You know, you're not making it all the way. You know, the race is as long as I can make that race go. So yeah, positivity, 100%. It's like that. You know, it's sort of that like. I had a situation where I had a client who was like, yeah, you don't swear a whole lot. And I'm like, no, I don't. It's just choice. I feel like it's the professional. And nowadays we can say, well, yeah, but so many more people do, and it doesn't really matter. It's like you can say that, but you realize I don't swear. And that stood out to you, right? They're like, yeah, you know. So I would say I would always say I won't offend anybody by not swearing. Ever. I won't offend you. Like, but I will offend the person who's like, ooh, I don't like when people swear a little bit. And I know people can say, yeah, but I just want to be who I am. Yeah. You know, partly who I am is I do want to leave an impression, and I do want to impact people's lives. Yeah. And that could be actually more than just tattooing or more than just in the gym. I want to see them change as a person, you know, or grow as a person. Yeah. And I feel if I don't put too many walls between us, then the better I have an opportunity to do that. Yeah. And again, long term, that positivity comes back into my career and into my life. That's right. So yeah, I just find if the less abrasive way to do something is always the best way to do it. Yeah. You know, often you'll find, and I think I said this to you before, is that a lot of people will just jump in to defend you anyway on certain things, and you're kind of like, you know, you just did the right thing, and other people support it. You saying, yeah, but Kirt is this or Kirt is that. And I've had those scenarios. Yeah. Where someone said something not even knowing me, and they were 100% wrong, and someone else jumped in and said, yeah, you're wrong. And they hear the whole story. And they apologized, you know.
Exactly. They hear the full story, and they realize that maybe it's just somebody, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if you think as people often that you're like, oh, I really like them as a person, or I look up to them, generally you would say they definitely follow that role. They're a nice person, they're a good person. When I met them, I still like their music. You know, you love, like, oh, I love their music, or I love watching their gym videos. Yeah. And then you meet them in person, they're just arrogant to you and rude and mean, and you're like, it wasn't just because they were busy, that's just who they were. Yeah. Or the way they chose to talk about other people in front of you. Yeah. You start to go, I don't feel good about this. Yeah. You know, it ruins it. I don't want to follow that person anymore. I don't want to hear their music. I don't want to, you know. But if you went away going, yeah, I felt good. Like, he was a nice guy. They were nice people.
It goes back to the positive energy always.
You know, and it's not a lot of work to do that. It's actually less. It's more work to let that negativity, you know, in those.
Being nice is free, guys.
Yeah, nice is free, right?
Yeah, it's free. Yeah, it's true. It doesn't cost anything.
It's not easy. It isn't easy. Like, you know, it's always like, I had a friend, I won't name any names. I mean, he did prison time because he punched a guy and broke his jaw. Yeah. Now, that person definitely deserved it. They were pushing all night on hitting on his wife and telling him bluntly that he was going to take his wife home. And you know, he did the easy thing, which was to let that aggression get to him and just throw a punch. Yeah. But he learned later in life, he was like, he thought, the hardest thing to do is not do that.
Yeah.
He goes, it kills everything inside you to not let that anger out and walk
Especially
away
the environment you
and
live
find
in.
another way to let that out. I'm like, that's a hard lesson to learn. So sometimes the right way isn't the easiest,
No.
but it will always be the best. That's,
That's
that's the
right.
way I put it. So
So I
yeah.
guess, you know.
So my career's definitely been
Yeah.
that kind of thinking and that kind of
Yeah.
energy, and I think that comes from my upbringing with my parents and stuff too. But
100%.
it comes from seeing its success too. See, it works. You're happier for it. They're happier.
That's right.
Yeah.
With that aspect on the way like you live your life,
Yeah.
do you find a lot of people try to walk all over you though?
Yep. So you do definitely need to learn where your boundaries are.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. What I would say most people will do when someone uses that or abuses that sort of personality or that person, which I've had done to me, it's human to go, well, I'm just going to stop doing these things.
Yeah.
I'm just going to stop helping people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't care. And you'll put everybody in the world into that one person.
Yeah.
Everybody's like this. It's like, it's not true.
No.
So you have to just realize, it's like a bag of Skittles. There's all kinds of flavors
That's right.
in there, and there's flavors you like and you don't like.
Some of them are sour.
Some of them are sour.
But some of them are sweet.
That's right. So don't put everybody into no, I'm never going to help you, or I'm never going to be that person anymore because of that one person. It's sad that one person could ruin that. And I think that's where we are today. It's happening, and it just dominoes, and we just, that ruined me. I'm having a bad day. I'm going to back away. The first thing you should do if it affects you and you're not happy is just be all about you. All about you doesn't work. We're not self-made. It just is not true.
No.
Anybody who even has that attitude, if you talk to them long enough, you'll see where somebody helped them move forward. And then to say that you're a self-made person and have that kind of attitude is like basically lying to yourself and lying to everybody else. Can you move forward if everybody's against you? Yes, you can.
Mm-hmm.
Can you move forward if you have support? Yeah, it's easier. It is easier, and that positive attitude helps that. And knowing when someone's abusing your goodness, and knowing it's okay to let that go or say no to that, or sorry, don't have the time for that right now, is totally okay too. Just
when do you kind of know that? When's the breaking
I think you
point?
learn it from it actually happening to you and you wanting to take that attitude of anger. And usually I will with that individual. I'll be like, man, I can't believe they just keep using me like this and keep like dumping their stuff on me, and I'll bail them out or help them out. It could come down to like, I've worked with so many people, I've met so many people, so many different things that you can help with, and I've had people help me as well. But I think it's coming down to a point where you realize someone is abusing that kindness in you, and you learn how do I get through this, and not. I think I naturally avert it back into, well, I'm just going to not do this anymore. And then the inside of me said, I'm not happy doing that. That's not who I am. That's not who I've been.
Yeah.
So I have to say, that's just that person. I think that's how I'm saying what I'm saying now is I've learned that.
Yeah.
I'd say when you get to that fork in the road, realize just go, keeps the direction you were going, let them be the one who goes left while you continue straight forward or whatever it may be.
You're going to thrive and they're going to
realize.
It goes back to the positive energy.
You tried to help them, they didn't want it, they wanted to use it, and they're going to continue on their life.
They're going to look back at
it's
it
not,
and see you thriving and wish they were a part of it.
it's not necessarily like I want revenge on that person.
No,
like, I'll succeed,
no,
you'll fail.
No.
What I want to see is them maybe even change their ways. That sounds, again, maybe it's corny, but I'd have to love to see that person turn around and be like, dude, I'm so sorry.
But you're not going to let them bring your energy down.
No, that's it. It usually just means you're going off and you're not paying attention to what they're doing anymore. You hope the best for the life, but have a good time.
Exactly.
Like that's really it. Like,
it's
honestly.
See you later, hopefully.
Yeah, because in the end, you live with how you feel.
Yeah.
And if I live with the idea that I'm going to show this guy, now my drive's wrong.
Yeah.
It's not for me anymore.
No.
It's actually about getting him.
Yeah.
It's about a revenge. It's about getting them, getting that person who hurt me. Like honestly, it's not easy. It's not. No. But it is awesome. And in a short time, it becomes the first answer because you realize how good it is to just let that go. Not wish ill upon them, not wish that there's revenge done to them. actually hoping
You just
that they.
hope that they change as a person.
I just know I'm not going to let it affect how I treat other people, and it's not going to affect the way I treat people within my business or my company. Because it can happen in your job. It can happen in your helping of other people. It can like today we're talking mainly about my job and my success, and yes, that comes in that as well. So that's my approach to it for sure.
No, that's a really
I would
good
love
approach.
to see people take that approach more. I think we could do.
It's really rare, I find.
Yeah.
It's really rare for
It is
people
rare.
to take that approach.
It's hard. You fight for it.
Yeah.
But I think you do that for 3 years, and it becomes real obvious. I've made choices that were wrong, and then realized that they changed who I was and who I was really. Again, my goal. Who do I want to be? Also, it's not what do I want to achieve all the time. It's who do I want to be. What do I want for my wife? What do I want for my kid? Or what do they want? And how do I help them get what they want?
Looking.
Life is literally everything's always a decision.
Yeah.
I think it was a guy who wrote a book on this, and he said life is literally a series of challenges or problems.
Yeah.
It's picking the ones that you enjoy.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's like, do I enjoy going down the road of I want this revenge?
Picking the Skittles.
Or do I want to have this path? So. Yeah, I mean,
reaching in the Skittles bag and just
finding
the sweet ones.
I like that analogy. That just kind of came to me. It's true. You said there's sour ones in there. Some people like sour, some people don't.
Some people like the red ones, some people don't. Some people like the blue and green ones. Some people don't like the sour ones. Some people like the sweet ones, and some people just like the berry ones.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to realize whether you like it or not.
They're different flavors.
There's choices to be made that will definitely make your career more successful, right?
Life has plenty of flavors. You just gotta pick the right ones.
Yeah, for sure.
There you go.
And that you're enjoying it and that you're happy, right?
Exactly. Now, steering away from that whole discussion, I want to talk about your big sponsor.
Yeah.
Let's get into your big sponsor. Talk a little bit about Star Bright Colors.
Yeah. So they're definitely my first sort of large team up as a sponsorship. So we did great to talk about them first for sure.
As you can see, does not have a shortage in Star Bright.
Yeah, absolutely. I give nothing but praise to Star Bright. And I guess the background on that is it was the first sort of high-end color that I got.
Yeah.
When I first started tattooing, we were buying more what you get that was affordable, and and Star Bright wasn't in the affordable zone. There's a little delay in what's happening in the States versus Canada. We didn't have as many ink choices to have.
Yeah.
And then that world started to open up a bit more, and you start to realize, oh, there's this company and this company, and suppliers started to carry more from all around the world. So I got a hold of a Star Bright color or two. I want to say a blue and a red and a white, and everything just kind of came back with those colors looking the best, bright and vibrant, healing well, and the more I sort of used Star Bright and stepped out of other colors I was using, the more those tattoos were coming back, looking better long term too.
Yeah.
So I was starting to see a tattoo 3 months ago with one color line versus the other, and the Star Bright was always the brighter, more saturated tattoo.
That's right.
So that for me was all I used, and I didn't have a sponsorship with them at the time. It was just a choice that if I'm going to buy ink, I'm going to buy what gives me the best product, so that you can have the best tattoo that you pay for the longest you can have it. So then I guess where it came from was I had about 3 other companies reach out to me, and who were like, hey man, you do great work, we'd love to have you on board, sponsor you with our inks. It was oddly kind of happened within a few weeks. I'd had 2 hit me up probably in the same week, and then I had a third hit me up probably the second weekend. And I told my wife, hey man, I would always share everything with my wife. I'm excited. These people reach out to me. They think my work is great, and they want me to represent their ink line.
Yep.
And she said, well, who do you want to go with? And my first instinct was none of them.
No.
And she said, none of them? I said, no. She goes, well, who do you want? I said, Star Bright. And she was like, yeah. I said, that's my favorite ink. It's what I use. I don't want to use something just because, I'm sponsored and I don't really like it.
Yeah, that's right.
So she said to me, well, send them an email and tell them that.
Yeah.
So, again, back to my wife, she thinks outside that box a bit, and it was...
Pushing you to...
Yeah, she just took what she heard me say and say, go tell them that.
Yeah.
So I sent them an email saying, yeah, look, forward it. These people want to sponsor me. My wife asked me, I told them this, and I said, I want you. And I explained why. Why do I see them, and what do I think about their ink, and where do I see the future of Starbright? And he was on the same.
To the whole, like, you wanted to be part of the team.
Yeah, I wanted to be part of something they were doing, and I wanted to see them to be doing something more.
Yeah.
I saw Starbright as its opportunity to grow within the industry,
Yeah.
and at this point, it was a father-son company. The father had started it. He made the ink colors, and the son was stepping in to kind of keep the business going and growing into the future. So we kind of connected at the same time. He said, I see exactly what you see. He goes, it's exactly what we want to do in the future of Starbright. And he said, I just love that you think this way. And he said, did you know we were offering some sponsorships? And I said, I did not. He goes, I thought that's maybe why you contacted me. He said, no. I said, they all happened from that conversation with my wife.
Yeah.
And he said,
so you built that connection.
Yeah, he said, we literally took on 2 sponsors and we decided to just close the door for a little bit. He goes, but I just love what you have to say, and I love your vision for our company. It's the same as ours. So he's like, I want to sponsor you. He suggested making some colors I actually mix each day that weren't in the line.
Wow.
This line was smaller when I came on board because I've been with him. It was probably just this one shelf, and now we have 2 shelves, right?
That's right.
So they actually flew me down, and I went into the lab and mixed up my colors, and to this day, I have an ink set. So it's the Kirt Silver series, and it's my own ink, and
that must feel pretty good.
Yeah, it's cool.
A company that you looked up to.
Yeah.
That you're now a part of.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's like you're part of the team.
Yeah, when you there's part of you always thinks that won't happen, but it's a dream,
That's right.
So to make that connection, to get on early with them as a company and have them say, man, we love your work. We definitely, love to have you make some of these colors you're using. And honestly, Blue Freeze is one of them, and Killer Kiwi, and they've become some of the top sellers in the line.
Really?
And they actually didn't exist in other ink line companies who have actually kind of stolen from our company, to be honest. I mean, it's a color. It's a color.
Exactly.
So they went and seen that color, and then it was in demand and made it as well in their line. But it's kind of, for me as an artist, it's cool. Because I just see, like, hey, this color's in demand, and they wanted to make it and match it.
See, because you could have went with another company that you didn't really back behind.
Yeah.
You could have went with somebody that, like, you know, they're paying you a whole bunch of money. You don't really use their products, but you'll put on a mask. You'll fake it to get the payout. But
or not even the payout, but maybe the payout of that idea of success.
Exactly.
Right?
But with you, it's more of you want to be backing something that you genuinely.
Yeah, for sure. And the cool part about that, let's just clarify this right now, is there's actually no payment for you to be sponsored. Not in this level. I know there are in other careers.
Yeah.
What the payment is in this is they actually get the product.
Yep.
So I don't buy ink anymore. I have it given to me, and that's my sponsorship deal.
That's
so if you're sponsored by something you don't use, there's no real reward except for to say, oh, I'm sponsored.
Yeah.
So to me, that was never the value of giving me a credential.
No.
If I'm going to get a credential, it's going to be something I believe in.
Exactly.
And
you use on the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you do a lot of tattoos, like you said, you do a tattoo a day.
Yeah.
Now, if you do a tattoo a day, you're probably using a lot of ink.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So you want to use something that you genuinely.
Financially, it still backs me for sure.
Oh, 100%.
But it's a little different to me. Like if you're a motocross racer.
Yeah.
And you're sponsored by the bike you actually love to ride.
Yeah.
You're gonna be happy, right?
That's
if you're
like we only run Can-Am.
Yeah.
The off-road channel.
Yeah.
Our goal is to get Can-Am to sponsor us. If Can-Am's watching this, we love you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But every person that sponsors us is parts we use for the bike.
Right.
Servicing, oil, bits and parts, like our little bike shop.
You trust them and
we
believe
trust
in them.
They believe in us. We believe in them.
Yeah.
And the whole goal is they thrive, we thrive. Like we thrive if they thrive, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
you're a representative of the ground floor of what they're doing.
Yeah.
These people make a product to put it in the hands of us artists.
Yeah.
I'm an artist who's saying, I love it, I value it, and they're saying, well, look at this guy's work and he's using this. So it's sort of this like complete circle of, we made a product, here's what they're doing with it, and that's, of course, then there's people seeing that and hearing that product more, which it helps. But it's also them putting my picture somewhere or my face somewhere that also helps me return business where people are like, oh, you're in a magazine for an ad for this company, and
Yeah.
like I've seen you. I'm travel into the States, and people know who I am when I get
Yeah.
there. That was a real.
That feels good.
That was crazy. My first time doing that, I
People
never
taking
stepped out.
pictures of you and everything.
I never stepped out of Nova Scotia, and it's its own scene, the tattoo world. So when you're going to a tattoo convention, it's like going to a car show. You know the biggest car builders. When I went to this tattoo convention, all the work that's been happening behind the scenes, landing in magazines, getting sponsorships, having ads in magazines with my face on it. When I arrived there, everybody knew who I was, and I was signing autographs. It was weird.
I do
Weird.
say.
Yeah, it was just like, and it was such a cool opportunity to meet artists who were like, oh my gosh, I admire your work, and I look up to it so much. For me to say, I'm just an artist, just like you. Like, just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
One day I'll be coming over here being excited to be like, remember when we met each other? Like, it's human. We're just people, right?
No.
So, it's cool though to have that point in your career where you realize you're recognized based on what you do and in your work.
The respect.
It's cool. It's just cool that somebody across the world, like we went to Ireland, and I had a guy at a tattoo shop. I walked in, he jumped over the counter. He was so excited to see me. Kirt Silver. He's like, I'm your biggest fan on Instagram, man. And he's a tattoo artist, and they own an amazing tattoo shop.
Awesome.
He's literally hugging me, and I'm like, and then he's like, it's this guy. And I'm like, oh, we talk back and forth all the time, but I wasn't recognizing who he was, and he was just thrilled that I was in the shop, and they had me come back that night. They were doing their 10-year anniversary, and I come back and I did some meet and greeting with people, signed signatures.
You do some tattoos that night?
I didn't end up tattooing. No, it was just a party for them for their 10-year anniversary. So literally, people would just come over and meet me, get a picture with me, and sign an autograph.
Yeah, that's right.
They had a limo pick us up and gave us food and everything for it. He's, he offered to pay me for it. I'm like, no, dude, this is awesome. Like, just having you
just
guys.
Just being there and having people that follow you. Just
on Ireland, here I am in Nova Scotia. I don't know what's happening out there because of what's happening online or what's happening in magazines. And that was just one shop. We went in another shop, and a girl was tattooing, and she looks over and pauses and thinks for a minute, and then looks again. She's like, how you guys doing? I'm like, good. And she just gets out and comes over. She goes, are you Kirt Silver? I said, yeah, man. And she was just like, oh my gosh, just a minute. And she ran back, got a magazine. Well, this one I just happened to land on the cover. We'll show this out. Showed it to Tattoos for Men and Tattoos for Women in one magazine. I actually landed the cover on that one.
Same shirt?
Yeah. This is my shirt with Solomon. Anyway, she came up with this and got me to sign it for her, and awesome. It was just great. It's crazy,
and she's always gonna have that on her wall or something.
Yeah,
it's gotta mean
just like I do. I have stuff kicking around on my walls that other artists have done. I used to have one right up here. It's over there now. An artist drew and signed for me, and he's just living his life as a normal person, as an artist. But to me, that's a moment. He sat down, did a sketch in front of me of something I was looking at getting tattooed, which I did get tattooed, and I saved it.
It's crazy,
it's cool.
Where we live in such a small town.
Yeah.
To kind of think bigger picture and think there's people from Alberta, bigger Texas, Spain that might be watching your stuff.
Might be tuning in to see what you're doing.
To see what you're doing, following you, maybe come to get a tattoo. Yeah. Maybe that guy from Ireland might stop in tomorrow. Say, hey, Kirt Silver, I need a tattoo.
It's insane. I've had it.
I've been looking at your stuff. You're the only guy I want for a tattoo.
Yeah. They'll fly up. Usually, I actually will do a little shout out to that. Anybody does watch us, that's from away. If you want to come up, I always tell them I'll pick you up at the airport because we're 5 minutes from the airport.
Yeah, we are in a really good spot.
Yeah, for a small town, we have great access. If you're flying in, I'll pick them up, bring them here, tattoo them. Get them back to their hotel at the airport, and they're ready to fly out in the morning.
Now that's service.
Yeah,
that's some good service.
And often give them a bit of a discount because they made the trip to get here and get tattooed by me. It's an honor, and that's a cost.
Take that piece.
Yeah, and go home, right? Yeah, it's crazy.
That's got to mean something to you as well.
Yeah, you know what? Some of the most impactful things in my career that mean the most aren't, tangible items like magazines and ink things, or they're honestly experiences with clients and people. And I can say that with absolute honesty. There's just something. There's just something more about making that connection with somebody than there is about a product. I love this product and blah blah blah. But in the end, the clients are in my business, and they're also where that sort of energy and that art-driven talent has come from, because they're pushing me, and the fact they're willing to fly here, travel here, and get tattooed. I mean,
it's amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's just cool. Yeah.
Now you've done some pretty big names.
Yeah.
Let's hear the biggest name. Now I know this is the fellow Nova Scotians that have went worldwide.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
It's you know, I talked about this off camera. Even was like, wow, you don't want to hold anybody as bigger than the other. But I would have to probably come down to the most well-known outside of Nova Scotia. Would be working with Trailer Park Boys. Tattooing JP, who was a phenomenal person. To beat a person who has the status of celebrity that he has. I mean, he's a writer, a comedian, an actor himself, and the fact that, you know, you're sitting with him in person and he's just the nicest guy. He's a family guy. He's naturally funny. His stories he tells are just so interesting. We're actually going to do something together you guys will be able to check out down the road. It's something I started called Leaving Your Mark, where I'll tattoo and do an interview with a person, so you kind of learn about that. We're tattooing JP down the road, and we'll be doing that. Sort of an interview. How did it get started? Where did the ideas come from? What projects are you looking into the future? It's kind of cool. I do it like a pop-up video, and we're popping things up, info you wouldn't have known about them. It's fun. So you're learning, and you're part of the thing. I did it with Classified. That's another name I got to bring up. Classified, Luke Boyd, from here, Elmsdale.
That's amazing. In this small town, there's so many talents.
There's a lot of talent. I think small towns tend to you know, really back talent and grow, like a growing, really help, move, motivate, and grow talent, because, you know, there's not a lot to do, so you look for outlets for your time, and you know, for Classified, it's a guy who's done it literally on his own, produced himself, getting into production. He actually did a little more production for other people before he really took off, which is kind of crazy, being a producer and having produced like DJ Jazzy Jeff back in the day, and working with like Snoop Dogg. Like, that guy's in our small little town.
I know.
And he's done all this. It's so I gotta really shout it out to Classified, man. Like, he's very smart. He's the nicest guy, super talented. You know, he would say himself wasn't the best rapper, but he definitely said he was going to be the hardest working one, and he is.
He is.
His ideas are brilliant. Like, I'm going to make this collaboration with this person, and the songs have become songs that have meaning and drive you to think a bit, and I like that.
You probably have a lot to talk about the strategy behind it.
Yeah, he's very strategic. Like, he'll write a song and you know, and do a video for it, and it doesn't even come out. Like, it'll be another one out before that one, because he's very strategic. He knows when, you know what, this is happening around us. Now is the time for this song, and I know a particular song that he was working on that I haven't heard come out yet, and I look forward to it, and I know it'll be a strategic time. So. As far as people making plans and working forward and knowing when the right moment is, the Classified's king of that. I gotta say, you can learn a lot just by, if you guys get the opportunity to interview him, which I think would be amazing for you. There's a lot to learn there for sure.
He's actually my friend Ben's uncle.
Cool thing about a small town is, you know, often we can know people that know people and relate to, or whatever.
And it gives you those opportunities.
Yeah, so with JP, I actually knew Corey Bowles for years, grew up with him skateboarding and everything. And Corey was on the show. Of course, he went by his name. Corey and Michael Jackson. It was always Corey Smokes, right?
Smokes, let's go.
Yeah, so I kind of would be hanging out with Corey and get to meet the other guys, and you know, I just really like JP. He was easy to talk to. Kind of just approached him one day after having met him a few times, and just said, look, if you ever want to get anything tattooed, man, you know, I'd love to work with you on that. And he kind of got back to me, took me up on that, and started hanging out, got to know him more, you know, on a friend level, and you know.
And you spend a lot of time with each other when you're doing a tattoo.
Yeah, he's just such a nice guy. Again, like, you know, it's something about the hometown talent that you gotta work. You know, the creativity that comes out of it.
I almost feel it's a little harder for us because we're in such a small town that
so
you're almost shadowed.
There's something I see and I've learned that I didn't see prior. And that is the whole, you hear the big fish, big pond, small fish, little pond scenario. I think being a small fish in a big pond, meaning there's lots more of those people there and it's a bigger area. So we see that as better. We often think that's the better scenario, like landing. Like if I just could get in where the scene is big in what I do, like mine would be the States was the big tattoo scene. Going to America, you thought, nah, Canadians aren't getting recognized. They don't, whatever. And there's some truth to that at that time. But I'm gonna say, I think in hindsight, I'm learning the small pond is a little easier because there's less people doing what you do.
Yes, less competition.
So you can get, if you build up your who you are within the community, what you do, what you're able to do within that community, that community becomes part of your support and echoing who you are and what you're trying to achieve and what you're trying to do. Exactly. And then that all goes out into today's social world, which is, online, got my tattoo today from Kirt, and, we're able to show our work across the world thanks to, first magazine, second, then like social media.
Social media is huge.
So that the pond's gotten a little smaller, but I think if you're in a smaller area and you're, like how many people might be podcasting, out of Enfield, Nova Scotia, Elmsdale right now? You know what I mean? So hey.
It's a unique niche right now.
Right. So if I'm supporting something and it's unique, like you already have something most people are looking for, give us something we don't have. It's like, well, a small town, coverage of what's happening and, showing the talents in small towns, like classified. But these small town people have made it outside of their small town. Exactly. And you're kind of, by doing this, showing that that's possible, right?
Exactly.
And how those people did it, how those people thought they made it possible.
The whole thought process with the podcast was it was always about like putting the Maritimes on the map. Right? Yeah. Showing the image of the Maritimes, sharing everyone's stories from Nova Scotia, and kind of like creating a community, creating something.
Yeah. Something we can
all jump on the
mic. Part of. I'm part of that. I was there that night.
Yeah, you're part of the Thorn Talk podcast.
Yeah.
Part of TTP. And we hope that it just keeps going in that direction where people want to come on, share their story, want to say like where they've come from, their backstory, and just see how many people we can get on to a point where we're known worldwide.
Yeah.
From Nova Scotia.
Yeah, and you stay Nova Scotian. Yeah. That's the cool part about it. I stayed Canadian, and I did this in my career. I stayed Nova Scotian. I stayed small town Elmsdale, East Hants by staying here and doing the work and using the platforms we have to go wider than here, and it's totally possible. Heaven forbid, someone might be interested in a little town that they don't know about. Guess what? They will be if there's something unique and interesting about it. And again, it comes with a lot of support, so it becomes a little easier for you if you have that support. Again, because there's less people doing what I do and you do within this town, so we get a lot more support for that. And that being said, anybody comes in along, for the most part for me, that tattoos, first thing I do is go out and meet them, say hello, welcome to the community. We have a guy here, Steve, phenomenal artist. I refer to him all the time. So, we never work against each other. I'm going to say this about Enfield, Elmsdale and stuff. I'm so proud of it. I grew up in another town. I don't know if I mentioned it, but because it's sort of in a negative light. It's a wonderful town, but it's just not the same as this small town.
Negative, or?
Well, it was like if you said, I'm going to do this, how are you going to do that? Where are you going to get the money? It was like naysayers. Like for a small town, they were beat down. Like I'm Truro. I grew up in Truro, and it was sort of that belief of, we never get anywhere. Truro you can't make things happen. And I'm going to say when I moved out of that, I seen that. When I was there, I didn't see it. It was just there, looming.
That's right.
When I came here, I was like, there's this community thing that's happening here that you see in a TV show that you wish you lived in. Exactly. Where people support you, they believe in you. Well, where are you going? Well, what do you need? Where are you going to put your shop at? Do you need anybody to paint? I paint. Yeah. It was just, it's crazy. And this community is growing, and people are getting a little frustrated with its traffic and its new buildings. But I think, honestly, we just don't.
We have to go, though.
Yeah, keep Enfield, keep Elmsdale, keep East Hants, keep your attitude that you have, because that's going to affect the people coming in instead of the other way around. Like, you know what? Yeah, we're going to get new stop signs. We're going to get new stoplights. We're going to get better at what we're doing, but growing forward doesn't have to be a negative thing, you know, and get back to all we're talking about. But Elmsdale has something that I think is infectious, and we shouldn't lose it. And Elmsdale, and again, the whole area, Lance, and it's that small community kindness and support. I had a shop fire at one of my shops. I was on the main drag there next to the sweet spot. I bought a little house, turned it into a shop. This is one great example, and a truck had went by, caught the main wire, and started a fire. It pulled my box off the side of the building.
Yeah.
And the guy right behind it was the volunteer firefighter.
Yeah.
He saw it, the truck kept going, didn't even notice. He whipped in, grabbed a fire extinguisher from the sweet spot, kept the fire down, called everybody. And by the time I got there, because I was in the city, I come back home, the whole community was there just handing me things and talking to me. Like, I paved, I do drywall, I'll come do all your drywall, don't worry about it.
Wow.
I'm an electrician, I'll wire everything up again for you. Don't. I had nothing to worry about. If I just relied on the kindness of the community, that whole thing would have been rebuilt, repaired, ready to go, and would have, if I had $0, it would have been done. People
That's
were
amazing.
committing to giving me the product and doing the work for me.
Yeah.
That blew me away.
I think that just comes down to like how positive you've always been. That people are willing to
Yeah,
help
I mean,
you
it was early in my career, so I got to give the credit to the
Okay.
community in that sense. I think that actually gave me more impact in who I wanted to be as a positive person too. I think it just backed that and built that up, because I was just thinking, I don't know, man. It really surprised me as a community.
That's
like,
amazing.
It just said a lot about here to me, and I never forgot that, and I never will. I went to the local, we had a little newspaper at the time, and I asked to, I just want to write a big thank you, because I was like, I don't even remember who was there. There were so many people coming in. I had a guy give me a key. He's like, he was a tattoo artist, had a small shop here, was really not doing a lot. I think that was a side little gig. Yeah. And just said, come on up, man. I'm barely there. Help yourself. Tell all your clients where you're at. You don't even have to wait a day. You're still in business. So I did that. And his name was Jeff Day, and I'm grateful he did it at the time.
Shout out to Jeff.
Yeah, I'm just thankful for that support. I don't forget those things, they mean the world to me. And so that's a shout out to this community and the small podcast you're doing. Like, this community we're in, this community you want to show. Yeah, we can be goofs and have a lot of fun. And, there's some cowboy in the town still, that's great. Right. It's great, but it's got everything here too. It's a growing community.
There's really a huge, there's a lot going on in this small town that I definitely want to shed light on.
Yeah, for sure, man. And it's like, to me, the spirit of the town is sort of that, honestly, when you watch a show and it's got that small town where everybody just, it's, I don't know, there's just a lot of support and care and, what are you open? Yeah, when's it open? When can I be there? Like, it's not, how are you gonna do it? It's somebody like, I'm gonna come and I'm gonna support it. Start the t-shirt line,
Yeah, that's right.
I let someone know, and like, here's how you order one. Yeah, man, I'll grab one, what the heck,
Exactly.
Instantly. And I think it's probably not that they're like, oh, I love the shirt. I would love to think, everybody just, I'm doing something wonderful with the art. I think I'm gonna get there with it, to producing something that will catch, that everybody likes, logo, whatever you may say. But I think honestly, at first it's the support. It's like, and you're proud to be wearing, like, I get to wear a shirt. Kurt, I support Kurt and what he's doing.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people, like, in this small town, it's like, well, I have the same image. Like, I don't want to go, say, into the city and pick up a shirt that has no meaning to it.
Right.
I'd rather pick up a shirt that has meaning to it, has background, is supporting somebody that I support, and has put their hard work into it.
I think that's sort of the thing. It's like, we want to see this community grow and excel, and so you kind of, it's community first sort of scenario, right? Like, if someone's looking for support or help or contribution to something, if it's like, look, it was a local family that lost their home, I'm like, I'm in.
Yeah.
It's local. Like, I want to do that.
It's like with Linos.
Yeah.
Linos is he's
phenomenal,
amazing.
Dude.
Amazing. We went in there, pitched our idea of the merch.
Yep.
For our podcast.
Yep.
And he said, I want to back you guys up. I want to support local. I want to support you guys because I know you guys are working your tails off. He's ready to put merch in the store.
That's cool.
And we're just waiting for the good time.
Yeah.
It's all the timing, really.
Yeah, for sure.
But he supports families and families and families.
Oh yeah,
like,
man.
I know I was in high school.
He's a backbone of the community for sure.
I was in high school and
he's
there's a family, their house burned down.
Yeah.
And he took them in.
And
he supported them. He started a fundraiser for them. He posted it on his banner at his store. Like, he's all for the community.
Oh man, I'm telling you, it's like
and that's what the community.
everybody I think has a Lino story where
Yeah,
they could
they do.
like he would be proud of, you know.
100%.
So he definitely lives with that mindset of
Yeah.
you know, helping others.
Yeah.
And let's face it,
It's nothing but giving.
I'm gonna say people have taken advantage of that and hasn't
Yeah.
changed him at all. He
No.
just move on, help the next person. So
Exactly.
yeah, again, like it's sort of that community has that a lot here, and I think it's something that's worth having.
Yeah.
So you know,
No.
and, you know,
It's,
I say instead of you know, a lot of people, things change, they get busy, and the fear of that is that we lose those sort of things. But let's be honest, if you dump that into the people coming into your community, they're going to do. I come into this community. I came from Truro. I didn't grow up here.
That's right.
But I that affected me, and I wanted to be that community.
Yeah.
You know, so the community is, you know, what we show we are, and then that person wants to become like or be part of, because it's a good thing to be a part of, right?
Exactly. You came from Truro.
Yeah.
And like people just accepted you.
Yeah.
Like as you.
Truro isn't like
here,
that.
right?
If you come to Truro, people are like, oh, it's so clicky,
Yeah.
and it is. Like,
That's right.
you don't see it while you're there. Like, I don't see the clickiness. Well, you're Truro. You grew up here. You know people.
There's
I need
a
a
few
job. You
places
got one.
like that. There's a few.
Yeah,
places
there
like
are,
that.
and I mean, it's sad because maybe they never had it or they lost it. I'm gonna say Truro, for some reason, like I think Truro's had the struggle with poverty and yeah.
Okay.
We're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can leave that one anyway.
I
won't bang on Truro.
I was just thinking, like,
Yeah.
oh man, imagine if it's not recording minute.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
I've done that. And you thought in your head, you get up and you're like, oh my gosh, we didn't get any of that. Like, yeah, for sure.
Man.
Cool. Yeah, was there anything else we wanted to move into? Or?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got one last question for
Okay.
you. Alright?
Yeah.
It's a good one. Any advice? Okay, so is there any advice that you have to people at home who are wanting to start something, that are unsure where to start and don't know how to make that first step?
Towards something they want to
Pursue.
Pursue.
Like pursue their dreams.
Yeah, whether it be music or arts or carpentry
Business,
or any kind of
carpentry,
business at all.
Media.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think there's a timeline on anybody's dream.
No.
I think that's the biggest thing I've learned in this. Like, people are like, well, if I'd done this years ago, or I say don't let your dream fizzle out. Just pick it up, but realize where it is realistically today.
Yeah.
So, for instance, I want to be a ballet dancer. You know what I mean? And you're like, well, I should have started when I was 15. Yeah, you should have. Sure. For what? If your goal was to be professional and travel the world and prestige, program dancing live on stage, but you can still take ballerina course and learn how to do this dance and whatever.
Yeah.
I just say like, go after what part of that is attainable and don't give up on it, right? Yeah, I mean, dreams are dreams for a reason. I think there's two fears in dreams. There's one is I won't succeed, and there's why try? If I even start, I can't do it, sort of scenario. And there's the what was the other one I was gonna say? Sort of the
Brain
kind of lost thought on
Yeah,
that one,
yeah.
but yeah, it's just there's usually like there's. But I would say the fear of what if I never tried. But I think maybe that's what I was going to say with the second part.
Yeah.
Is that you got two things. There's the it's too late for my dream, or all the reasons why you can't go after it.
Yeah.
And then there's the the other side of that, which is what if I try and I fail?
Yeah.
Then I don't have a dream anymore, right?
Exactly.
That's exactly what I was trying to say. And it's like, you're afraid your dream becomes a nightmare because I can't do it at all. But let's put it this way. There's almost nothing you can't achieve if you don't have a limit on it.
Mm.
So in other words, like what area you can go into that thing you once dreamed about. You were younger when you first dreamed about it. What can you do at your age now? What could you do, to work towards that? Like go back to school or whatever it may be. Invest some money, invest some time.
kind of goes back to like baby steps.
Yeah, if you had your dream when you were 20 and you're now 35,
Yeah.
so you were hoping at 20 you started, and at 35 you were at the top of the game of whatever your dream was.
Yeah.
You know, okay, so what? So start at 35 and see if you can make it by 40, that same goal, or
right.
surprise yourself with it.
Yeah.
A dream should be something that you love doing some part of it all the time. So a good example would be like, what if I didn't become a tattoo artist?
Yeah.
Would I have been like, oh, that was the dream? No,
Yeah.
I would have been like, now can I sell paintings?
Mm-hmm.
Can I maybe airbrush? I'm gonna be honest, I did all those things, and tattooing was the one thing that was the successful business, because it's the art form that people see as a better investment because they wear it everywhere they go.
Yeah.
You have a painting on your wall in your house, oh cool. The only people who see it are people on your Instagram, you took a picture of it, or people who visit your house.
Yeah.
The tattoo, it's like you're driving in to order a burger and someone goes, who did your tattoo? Oh my gosh. It's a conversation. So, you know, back to, so your dream scenario is like, so you don't become, you're an artist, but you don't become the first attempt of what you thought you'd do as an artist.
Yeah.
Maybe you become someone who designs t-shirt art, or you just find a way to let that outlet out. And see what you can do with it for success. If nothing else, it should be a hobby that you super enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I didn't make it in tattooing, but I was still good at it and I was okay at it, but I couldn't quite make a living off it, would I do it as a hobby? Maybe. Maybe I would have and done something else that had really paid the bills. I guess a good example would be COVID hit, and at tattoo artists and hairstylists, we weren't allowed to work for about 3 months.
Yeah.
Because they seen us as somebody who was too close in contact with people.
Yeah.
So all this hit you. I've been doing this for 21 years. Who am I? What do I do? I started to identify as the thing I was doing, when really the identification is who I am and what I like to do are two totally different things.
Yeah.
So realizing that, and then also realizing I still do art and still have an outlet. I started painting more, and next thing I know, I'm posting up painting. I finished this painting. How much do you want for it?
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy crap. And all of a sudden it's like, well, this was for me, but what do you want? And they're like, well, I love this or this that you were doing. Could you do something like that? I'm like, absolutely. And they go, how much? Well, what size do you want it? And boom. And here I was selling paintings through COVID, which was helping me because I wasn't tattooing.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I went, if I had to switch tomorrow artistically what I'm doing, I could do it.
See, a lot of people don't have that skill, and I think that's a skill.
Yeah.
A lot of people will give up very easily.
Yeah.
And see, COVID's going on, so now it's not for me to give up.
It wasn't easy. I had that little approach, like, who am I?
100%.
What am I doing? Is it time to quit this? Am I going to go get a trade now instead of this? Like, yeah, for sure. Again, it just comes back to, if it's your dream, the dream doesn't have to be the end goal. The dream should be the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, the dream shouldn't be, I want to be an artist selling albums, like, one hit or one hit song a year or whatever. It's like, if you're able to record a song, get it out and put it on Spotify and have some people hear it and comment about it, I mean, that's a pretty cool feeling in itself, right? So get into the thing you enjoy, and if you enjoy it enough and you continue to work at it, and you'll probably be successful in some way, shape, or form within that career, that you'll find a way to make a living and be happy with what you do.
Yeah.
I used to ask the question to somebody, do you just want to make a lot of money, or do you want to like your job and have enough to pay your bills?
Yeah, that's right.
Guess what? If you go after I just want to like what I'm doing and have enough to pay my bills, generally you're going to end up getting there and then going to, now I have more. And then I really started out with, because it's the thing you're going to be the best at, if you enjoy it enough to continue on the path through it. So,
that's right.
I mean, it's a long answer.
No, that's
super
really
long
good
answer, but I don't know, honestly. I guess it's just don't give up on that dream, and find where can you start in it. Like, if you're young, you start young and do the thing and work your way up. If you're a bit older, and
it doesn't happen overnight, does it?
I have to say, like, you do podcasting, but if tomorrow someone was like, man, I like your approach to filming and the way you do things, like, would you do Sketchcom and film that for us? You're like, oh yeah, I'll give that a try.
Yeah.
And if that took off, you're like, we're doing Sketchcom videos on YouTube now, and they're blowing up.
That's
Like,
right.
and you made a career out of that. Cool, that's great too.
Yeah.
You just like this idea of talking with people and being involved, and doing some filming, doing some editing.
Yeah.
Let's face it, right? Most people are like, yeah, I wouldn't be upset with that if that happened.
Yeah.
So you got to be honest and say, like, people limit themselves down. Like, I could never do that. And it's like, what? Become a professional hockey player.
Yeah.
Do you love hockey? Is it something you just really, really want to do? It's like, then who cares if you become professional, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's right.
I guess it's what are your expectations on yourself? And
Yeah.
I always say, if you you catch yourself making comments like, oh, I'd love to be able to play piano. That's one I make as a musician.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to be able to play piano. Oh, I should be able to play piano. If I loved it that much, I should be able to play 4 or 5 notes. And then I have to be honest with what I'm saying. The honesty about I would love to play piano. What I'm really saying is, I'd love to wake up tomorrow and just know how to play piano amazingly.
Yeah.
Because the truth is, if I love it enough, I'm actually going to start trying to work towards it. So I got to be honest and say, don't love it enough to do that.
Yeah.
So that helps you realize what your real dream is.
Yeah.
If you can cut out, would I put the work into it? Am I willing to? If the answer is no, that's not your dream.
That's
you're
a good
confused. You're confused.
That's a good answer.
Your dream might be to be within music.
Yeah.
But maybe it's not play piano.
I think a lot of people at home need to need to hear that.
Yeah.
They need to hear that because a lot of the time, all that is sugar coated on social media.
There's so many things I would love to be able to do.
Yeah.
But love meaning waking up tomorrow like some magic spell happened and now I can do it.
Yeah.
If you really love it, I love music. I'm making it. I'm putting it out online and Spotify, Apple Music. I'm able to do all that.
Yeah.
But I can't control whether it becomes a hit or not, or whether it.
But you also gotta love the process.
Gotta love the process. It's actually the best part,
yeah.
honestly. And you hear it, and these things that are cliche are they're cliche for a reason because they're true.
That's right.
When you hear some cliche thing, you go, blah blah blah, and then you live through it. You go, now I get why they say it.
Yeah.
The cliche is because it's been proven time and time and time again as truth, right?
And a lot of people don't see like what goes on behind closed doors, like the editing, the sitting down for hours.
Tattoos.
Oh,
I could do a podcast. It's
like
I could do a tattoo. I could,
100%. It's like, I'd love to be on the podcast. Like, it's great. So let's schedule time. Let's talk for them.
They don't. They're chasing them around.
And then let's brainstorm ideas and let's sit down for 8 or 10 hours and edit the podcast. And it's like, all right, I don't want to do the podcast.
Yeah, I guess I'm not really into that. I'll do that with my son. I'll ask him, like, oh, I want to be a YouTuber when he was young. And I'd be like, okay, here's the things.
Yeah.
Never to take him out, like, take his dream away from him.
No.
But to let him know, if I say those things and he's like, oh, yeah, that's cool, I will do all that.
Yeah.
You're like, good, you're onto something.
Yeah.
Which is what he's doing as an electrician.
Yeah.
You tell him, like, you're going to have to do this and this, and, I'm just telling you how it'll be. It's like, I know, I love that. I love that I'll do that. And it's like, cool. I guess those are the questions. Maybe that should be the answer in the end. This whole thing together. Sit down and ask yourself, would you just love it to happen, or would you love the process? You know, that's probably
you
the
gotta
simple
fall
way
in
to
love with the process.
Yeah, or have already been in love with the idea of it enough. Like, I guess it's finding, and maybe the third part of that, it would be, like I say, finding the thing in the thing. Music.
Yeah.
Is it playing the bass? Is it singing? Or is it, or is it being like, no, I want to record and edit, Like, just ask yourself some questions to know what it is you really want to do within that niche that you're interested in with your dream.
That's right.
And some people's dream is just to have impacts on people's life and travel around the country. All same thing. You should ask your questions. Where do I want to go? Why do I want to go there? What do I want to do when I'm there? And again, that all goes back to almost our very first statement of us making plans, seeing them through, working towards them, not being upset if they don't happen in the year you said, I want to work towards this. Doesn't mean you're going to achieve it at the end of that year. But if you're working through it that year, you're probably going to see it achieved within your 1 to 3 years, right?
That's right.
So I've had a checklist from the beginning of my career where I went, I want all these things to happen. Yeah. They were huge. They were like, if I said I'm going to achieve these tomorrow, I would have quit a long time ago. So those were on a list, and then it was this year I'm going to do this one. This year I'm going to work at that one. I'm going to get into color and be a better color artist, and and then I'm going to do this, and I'm going to start sending some of my work into a magazine just see what happens, and then I'm going to try doing a seminar because everybody's asking me how to do this thing, and you check them off, and they all start to grow towards the other things on the list.
Yeah, like the other goals that you had planned.
Yeah, like those goals sometimes won't happen unless you've achieved these things, right?
Yeah, it's stepping stones. It's like you can't just start something and then expect to, you can't start a podcast and expect to be famous within a year.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Some people have tried several approaches to a podcast before they had one that hit. Or sometimes it took one video that went I'm gonna check out this guy's other stuff. And then they go, you know what, I kind of like all this stuff. And also all your old stuff that you thought was maybe people don't like it starts catching because they're now looking at you, you know, like
it's kind of like
same with tattooing. I probably put out, and I could say 1 or 2 tattoos where I knew those got me the attention, and I was starting to be seen. That landed in magazines. I started getting calls from all over the world about one particular tattoo I did on a buddy of mine. He's a DJ, and it was all DJ style tattoo, a skull with headphones and all this DJ equipment's over on my wall. It was one of my good friends. You know him actually, Jason Geller.
Yeah.
And man, I put that, like, it landed in a magazine. I got calls from like Mexico and Spain and just all over the world, like asking me would I draw something like that for them because they want to get a tattoo. You know, I love that. Would you draw that? And I'm like, well, I don't, because here's why. You know, I said I would rather, if I'm going to draw it, I want to tattoo it too. So I'd hate to be like, you know, $300 and I'll draw you something and send it to them. So I just didn't do that. But it was interesting. I knew that was getting attention, and I knew starting to have people look at my work and go, this guy's doing something. And we started to see people copy it. We see a tattoo land in a magazine, and it would be like, oh, they totally traced my skull and my headphones. And it's like, it was a form of flattery, to be honest.
Oh, 100%.
As much as, you know, the person who has a tattoo would be like, that sucks, someone's copying my tattoo. I'm like, yeah, but you have the original, man. Like, that started this whole thing, right? So that was kind of cool. That was in my career where I would say I got recognized for something I was doing different, and people wanted to mimic it in a way. Because, I mean, that's, as an artist, I was doing the same. I was like, not stealing people's stuff, but looking up to it and trying to mimic what they were doing, their style, their approach. That's what pushes us to get better. Like you watching other people's podcasts saying, I should try some of that. You know what I mean? This guy's onto something.
Well, what I normally do is I watch other podcasts. I'm always watching podcasts.
Yeah.
Love podcasts.
And thinking, what do I like about
What
them?
do I like? What do I see that they're doing? What's grabbing people's attentions?
Yeah.
What people are liking and tuning into every couple weeks because of what they're doing.
Oh, for sure.
Right? Like I'll watch Theo Vaughn. I love Theo Vaughn.
Yeah.
My whole end goal is to be on Theo Vaughn's podcast.
Yeah, cool.
Right?
Cool.
So I watch his podcasts every time they come out.
So that's your future checklist, and
that's the top dog goal.
Yeah.
You know? So
like I'm admittedly not a podcast person. Like
Yeah.
I don't watch them. People are like, did you see that podcast? I'm like, I don't, man. It's, you know, but I get its appeal, and I get its draw, and I see its value, and it's just like, I shouldn't say I don't. There's been a few where I'm like, oh, that catches me, and I'll watch that episode.
That's right.
You know, but I know people who are very podcast people. They're always, it's like TV shows. They're looking for the next one. They can get involved in, and
I just like learning from them. I like learning from them. I like hearing people's stories.
Yeah,
and
I agree with that.
You know, I like kind of hearing their success.
Yeah,
stories.
I probably would admittedly watch more about bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And sometimes it'll be someone's process of the way they think about, like what I said about longevity and training. Something will hit me where I'm like, that's just smart. And I'm like, I gotta apply that, or I'm gonna try that.
You might listen to a podcast with, like, say, Greg, you said, right?
Yeah, oh, for sure. Like, I know Greg personally. So,
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I've watched Greg. Like, I've known him before he was ever on YouTube, and, you know, I've known his past, which he's got a lot, you know, people bring up all the time. Greg's always been a great guy, phenomenal bodybuilder. Like, knowledge is unreal. He's someone where a lot of podcasters would say, whether you like or hate him, it's undeniable his knowledge. Like, he's very knowledgeable, and I think that's great. He got into podcasting for sure, found a niche, does it. You know, he discusses it all the time. Like, how people are like, oh, the voice you do, and he kind of gives an example. If I just sat here and was like, blah, 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 and he's not wrong, right? You know, he knows that's what took him off, was having that kind of energy. And
it's funny, like, on TikTok and stuff.
You want to talk about the hate. It's like, talk about the hate all you want, but you're watching my videos, right? Like,
and the hate just pushes him further.
It's sad that we live in a world where if you're doing something, if you're doing anything, that you'll get haters. If you're doing something well, you'll get haters too. It doesn't mean, just because you have haters doesn't mean you're doing something well either. What it really is questionable is like, well, why are you here then? Just instead of me taking the effort to make another video describing why I don't like someone's video, or even leaving a comment on what I don't like about their video, I would just move on. It's weird we have this society now where it's the goal is to just like, okay, I watched your video, now here's my thoughts on it. Like, you know, the podcast is, well, why do you watch me then? And it's just like, You know, and the other one that will drive me, because I get it slightly, you know, I used to be a little more socially active at trying to grow my Instagram and stuff, and I realized, well, it doesn't affect my client business, so kind of just backed away from it. Again, more family time, more time to do other things.
That's right.
But I would get people who come on, and you know, you've seen when they started following you, like, this guy's been following me for 5 years. This is the first time he's ever commented, and it's something horrible. 5 years you've been following me, like you know, maybe liking a picture, maybe never left a comment. The first time I do something that you think isn't good, like as a tattoo, like, you know, pick it all apart in the most negative,
I think it comes
mean
down
way.
to jealousy, though.
You know, and it's unfortunate because it comes back to that's the person they are, and for them, they vented that out, and it makes them feel good. Like, where I'm the opposite, if I just walk away and I've done the better thing, I think, I feel better. Like, if that was my friend and I was trying to help him grow, I would still be like, yeah, man, I love this that you're doing in your work and everything, but this hair tattoo, what were you doing there? And like, okay, what do you think? What do you think? And then they hear them go, well, I could have done this a little better.
Yeah.
There's so much a positive way to do that. And if you're not my friend, why am I doing it to it at all?
Yeah.
Like, am I trying to help you be a better tattooist, or am I trying to be a jerk?
Yeah.
And like so we have people who are trying to grow what they're doing, like you, a podcast.
Yeah.
You got people that are trying to grow as a hater somehow.
Oh yeah.
It's like, what are you trying to be a professional hater?
You
like,
get that.
oh,
You
look
get that
at
a lot.
Timmy946, man, I love his negative comment.
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't happen. It doesn't
You know
work.
what I do, though?
No one blows up from that.
Whenever someone puts a hate comment,
Yeah.
like, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks.
Love the support.
I know. Thanks for the support, whether it's good or bad. You know.
Thanks for viewing my stuff.
Yeah, you know, and I'll be honest, that one kind of ate me up. It's like, I had one, and I thought about it, and I finally just sent him, you know, a personal message like, bro, you've been following me for 8 years, you've never commented, and the first time you comment, you say it in such a hurtful way, and like, I'm like, honestly, like, a photo of a tattoo, sometimes it looks good, and sometimes it's hard to catch the angle because it bumps out around this, so it makes the nose look a little off, but if you're in person, you see it differently.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to justify what, you know, I'm also saying maybe it's not the best work I've ever done, but I'm trying, you know. And I just kind of said that to him. Maybe I, you know, wasn't my best, like, but thanks, and I'll try harder. and he literally come back with, because I approached it so nice, he come back, he's like, I'm so sorry, man, I was just having an off day, and I was an asshole. And I thought that was super cool. Like, I did decide, I'm not going to leave it alone, but I'm going to be really nice about it, and just say, you know, I'm sorry you feel that way about it. It was funny, I wouldn't have believed in 100 years, I just thought I'd try it and see if he'd comment back or just leave it alone, and he'd come back and apologize. And I was like, that's, wow, okay. It's interesting. But I did give him the truth. I gave him, you've been following me for about 8 years. Yeah. The first time you decide, you obviously look at my work enough to find something you didn't like. And that was the first thing you thought you'd do, instead of supporting all the stuff you maybe started following me for. And saying one thing good, like, good job on that, I like that. Yeah, I don't know.
Some people, though, are just, it's just jealousy sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I
some
think
people that just trade on drama, and they just, you're doing something that they're not, and it kills them inside.
I guess there's a part of me always would, like, thinks, you know, it would be nice if they could get away from that themselves, break away from that. Again, I always want to see.
And you're the kind of person that thinks, like, I
want
to see them do better.
Yeah, I want to see them do better.
Leaving this comment,
weirdly.
If they're leaving this comment, what situation are they in?
Yeah, what are they
in?
Better their totally, situation? I feel that way right away.
That's amazing.
And the fact that I gave it a positive and he gave it a spin of he's having a bad day and everything, maybe that's the case. Maybe he's not a troll.
And you're the guy that texts him and says, all right, let's go to coffee so I can
get better. Right? Yeah, totally. Yeah. So, I don't know. You know.
It's a really cool way to look at it. And I think that's why you're so successful.
Yeah, I mean...
you know, you got such a positive energy. You got such, like, a unique way of looking at life.
Yeah.
I think that's why you're so successful.
Thank you, I appreciate
things have went your way.
Yeah.
That's why you have a big, successful business. You've got your tattooing, your music. You've got your the shirts that you're starting. You've got this huge image behind you because of how positive and your energy and how great a person you are.
I really, again, I thank you so much for that. And I mean, that is who I strive to be as a person.
Yeah.
And it's who I admire in other people. It's what I admire in other people. It's what I admire in artists I've met and looked up to and stuff. So you just kind of learn, you know, back to what you said, you know, you watch videos and I like this about it and I didn't like that about it. We kind of can do the same, and we should do the same in our own personalities, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? you can choose who you're gonna be and what you're gonna be, and sometimes we'll make the wrong choice, but you can learn from that, right? The same as you can learn from a mistake in going after your dreams, like, So I guess overall, man, like if I'm saying anything, it's like, you know what, learn from where where you can do better, and find the people in the community that you want around you and supporting you in that, and the people you want to support in that, and
I'll go your way.
yeah, man. Again, back to small town community. I think that's here, and I love that I was able to do it here in this town. I think this town was a large part of why I have been able to do what I've done, and my clientele for sure. I know probably something that I always felt bad about was as I got more successful in tattooing, it brought more people towards me to get tattooed. So sometimes I wasn't able to do a lot of tattooing, smaller tattoos that people would come in from the community and want. And I thank you, people in this community, that supported me in the beginning. And when I was doing small tattoos, and that's where my skill level was, that I was able to grow off of that. And then what I did from there was try to bring people in that did the smaller tattoos and kind of kept that community, because this community has brought me up. It's like all of a sudden I said, well, I don't do these things. It felt bad to do, kind of shut the door on saying that. So now what I try to do is refer as much as I can to people who are doing what they want done. But I can say, like, without a doubt, this community still supports me and still, feeds my family.
100%.
So, but I always feel bad when there's something I don't necessarily do or take on. It's just the way it is. That's my personality. I want to do everything. You want to do everything. You want to be able to do everything you hear. But it comes back to that. How do you not get burned out scenario?
No, I'm still wondering that.
Sometimes, so I've discovered, you can say no if it comes with information that is still they're grateful to receive. I can't do that tattoo, but I know someone who can. Tell them I've sent you. They'll probably take you on. You know what I mean?
It's always gonna benefit you.
Let's face it. If you ask me to help you train for your bodybuilding show, or give you a tattoo, whatever it may be, and I say yes to you, and I really don't have the time, and I'm not giving it to you, it gets frustrating to you. You're like, Kirt said he would help me, and I'm like, man, this week I'm like, I need to know what I'm eating, because I'm going to get on stage, and you can't even get a hold of me by phone. I shouldn't have committed to that, right? So I'm actually doing you a favor by saying, I don't have that time right now, and you're going to need that time from somebody. So here's a guy I know that does training, like Mike Lyons. Let's give a shout out to him. He's a good buddy of mine. Pro bodybuilder, went pro, stood against people who were on the Olympian stage in the second and third and beat them in shows. Like, for a local guy with a professional bodybuilding status and build, this guy is phenomenal. And he teaches, and he does, and his pricing is amazing. He's a great coach. So that's who I say, look, if you got the money, you can afford a coach.
That's right.
Male or female, he's a great coach, and that's who I would recommend. He has his own app and everything. Mike Lyons on Instagram. He has a program that sends you the app. Everything's done through it. It's phenomenal.
That's amazing.
So shout out to him again, a local guy here at Nova Scotia.
Maybe I gotta contact him for a podcast.
You know what I mean. If you want someone who's going to be involved and give you the time and keep up with you online, and you're able to say, oh, I want to eat that food. I feel this way. And he's like, oh, no problem. Let's switch it for this. Like, he's awesome. He's flexible.
Gym, right? Like, they need to hear the feedback, and especially like if they're not knowing what's going on, not seeing the results.
Especially if you have a goal towards like a bodybuilding show. Like, you need someone who knows what it takes to do in your last few weeks when it gets scientific. Like, this much water in means this, and this much water out, and this much carbs. And if you're like, I don't even want to think about it, just tell me what I'm eating and how much. Great. That's what you need at that stage. I do. I get Mike to do my shows when I'm doing them, especially near the end. I need an honest feedback, because you're really hard on yourself when you look. Like, I'm not there. I'm not ready, and they're seeing what you're not seeing, right? So
you almost need that second person.
But beyond bodybuilding, I mean, I don't want to limit Mike down to just a bodybuilder trainer. He's not. I mean, you want to recomposition, lose weight, gain muscle, fitness, whatever. He's skilled to do all that.
You just want a good guy to talk to.
Yeah, for sure. Like, he did posing and everything. Like, you would want to work on your posing. He's the guy. Yeah, for sure. But just starting the statement off of, like, realizing when you don't have the time to say yes to something, it really is probably a
Helps to
kindness
know
to
people.
tell that person, I can't do that, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't be good enough for you because my time is focused somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Well, it
Yeah.
helps to know people, the connections you got. Like,
Yeah.
It all just
Yeah.
draws back to the same thing, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But I appreciate you coming on the podcast.
brother.
It's been amazing.
Yeah, man.
It's the 3rd episode of the Raw Talk podcast. Remember, TTP is not. Man, I messed it up again.
That's all right. Take it from the top.
All right. I appreciate you
Yeah,
coming on,
cool,
Kirt. It's
Appreciate
been
it.
amazing. I think this is the longest pod yet.
Yeah,
but
man. I'm a talker, what can I say?
he's a talker. He's a great guy to know. I hope he comes on again. Thanks you all for watching. Make sure to check out TTP Off-Road. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Simon & Simon Racing, Speedy Cuts, Dakota Dirt Schroeder, best announcer around, as well as Busted Nuts Power Sports. I think I got it all.
Cheers.
Appreciate you guys. Stay tuned for the next pod. Peace.
Awesome.
That's
Cool,
awesome.
brother.
That was a lot.
Yeah, that could be edited down.
Yeah.
For sure, so feel free.
Yeah,
You know,
100%.
cut it out. I
2 hours only.